Hello, my goblins and ghouls. It is I, your queen of scream, Reanimate Her. And I have a great video for you guys today. My 31 days of Halloween. Yes, this is what I like to watch during the month of October. Throughout the years, it has changed because of my spawns getting, older. They were able to watch a little bit more. So this is my list, but before we get into that, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, that like button, and let me know in the comments what are some of your top favorite movies to watch during Halloween or on Halloween day. And while you're down there, make sure you hit that little notification bell to let you know when I go live or when I upload a new video, since that happens quite often. And a huge thank you to each and every one of you that engage with my videos, watch my videos, enjoy my content. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Now we're going to get into my list. This is quite a big list, so the video might be a little bit long, but I do hope you enjoy it. First and foremost, you know I love Giallo. Argento is one of my favorite Giallo directors, and so we're going to start off with Tenebrae. Tenebrae is a great film that follows a serial killer with a twist. Definitely does. You can check this one out on Shudder if you have it. My next is Demons. This is needed in anybody's Halloween list. Demons gets you ready for the Halloween spirit. A couple of people go in to watch this unknown, mysterious movie to have a horrible fate happen. Now, you can't get into the spirit of Halloween without having some spookiness going on, some paranormal activity. But no, we're not that movie. We're talking about The Conjuring. And now you have to watch The Conjuring series as one full movie. Well, I do at least. So I start off with Conjuring 1, and then we end up with Conjuring 2 in the same night. We also get a little crazy up in here, and we call the most awesome man of the undead, and that is Beetlejuice. Yes, you heard that right. Beetlejuice, we add him into the mix to give us a fun family vibe. Who doesn't love Beetlejuice? I mean, come on. I've seen that movie. I can't even tell you how many times, because we watch it even when it's not Halloween. It's one of our favorite family movies to watch together. As you know, Heavy is not a horror fan. So he will watch shows like Beetlejuice and, fun stuff like that. The next one is one of my awesome all-time favorite paranormal, supernatural films that scared me as a kid. And not only did it scare me as a kid, the friggin' clown in this mofo got me real bad to where I had to check underneath my bed and be like, yoo-hoo! Any scary clown ghosts underneath there? And if you can't figure it out already, that is a poltergeist. Yes, poltergeist. You can't have Halloween spirit without having some poltergeist in your life. I know my list isn't going to be your typical Halloween list that everyone's been posting out there, because I do love to watch certain movies that get me into the mood. You obviously have to have ghosts up in that bitch. It's Halloween. Anyways, Poltergeist is a great film to watch. Then we get our real creep on with the tall man from Phantasm and his balls of doom. I love Phantasm. The tall man is one creepy mofo and his balls are dangerous. Who doesn't love some balls with spikes on them to come and get you? Phantasm is a great film. I love it. It's eerie. It's creepy. It's got all of the makings for Halloween. It's got a spooky graveyard, creepy old tall man. It's got everything you want in it. Now we're going to get into one of my most favorite Michael J. Fox films, and that is The Frighteners. The Frighteners is a great horror comedy. It's got your ghosts. It's got your action. And most of all, it's got a very, very cute and young Michael J. Fox. I love The Frighteners. It's a fun time, and it is a movie that the whole family can watch. You don't have to worry about all the blood, guts, and gore, and even sex, because there's none of that in The Frighteners. Such a good film. We're also going to get back into the demons again, because we got Demon Knight. Who doesn't love a little bit of Tales from the Crypt? Yes, Demon Night is another fun film that me and my family love to watch. It's another somewhat family film. There isn't a lot of like crazy sex and gore into it. So I would probably say if you have teens at home, they can definitely watch Demon Night with you. It's a good one. Definitely a good one. And you gotta love the Crypt Keeper. Now, this is another fun one that me and Mischief Maker like to watch to get ourselves into the Halloween mood. And who doesn't? It's got the amazing Mr. Curry in it. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. The Rocky Horror Picture Show is a timeless classic film. And you've got Tim Curry dressed up in some nice little black lingerie. Yes, you got some great music as well. This soundtrack to Rocky Horror Picture Show is chef's kiss all the way. Another show that I like to watch with this one is the Genetic Opera. If you haven't seen that one, it's crazy. It is not family friendly, not at all. But the Rocky Horror Picture Show is to a certain extent. A next one that I do enjoy is Hocus Pocus. Who doesn't watch Hocus Pocus to get themselves in the mood for some Halloween and spectacular frights? I mean, who doesn't? I do. Every year I watch Hocus Pocus around October. And again, these are not in any particular order. I randomly pick one out every night. Every night of Halloween, I pick one out. The weekends, we usually watch a couple of series or franchise. But Hocus Pocus has got to be in there. I know a few people from the Horde were like Halloween Town. Halloween Town is cool and all, and it brings back some memories. But Hocus Pocus is, for me, one of the holy grails of getting into the Halloween spirit. Also, another must-have in your Halloween picks is the Monster Squad. Wolfman's Got Nards is, you have to watch it. It's a great classic that your family can watch. It gets the kids into the Halloween spirit. You've got your vampires, you've got your ghosts, your Frankenstein's monster. It's a beautiful action, spooky time wrapped in a nice little spooky box for you. Everybody can watch it. You don't have to wait till the kids go to sleep. Now, you know that I'm a cannibal fan, and I have to have Texas Chainsaw Massacre in this list. You have to. I have to. It's one of my most favorites. Yes, from 1974. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is an amazing, amazing masterpiece of cannibalism. We get to see Bubba. We get to use our imaginations to scare the shit out of us. Because I will tell you right now, TCM, as what you see, isn't technically scary. But your imagination from the things that you don't get to see scare the ever-living shit out of you. Many people swear that they see all the gore, but you don't. Your mind plays that trick. Toby did a great job in this film, and this is one of my Halloween ones because it does get you into that frightful, scary anxiety moment of Halloween. And then some more Tales from the Crypt. I love Bordello of Blood. I love sexy vampires. You know what I mean? Bordello of Blood is another great horror thriller. So let's throw a little bit of a comedy up in that biatch. It's a fun film. Not family friendly per se, but if you've got teenagers, it's definitely able to be watched with them. It's fun. Definitely fun. The next one is getting into more supernatural, is Sinister 2. I loved Sinister 2. That guy in the mask is really friggin' creepy. But yes, it gets you into the Halloween spirit. It gets you into that spooks and supernatural ghosts. I think it's a great film for Halloween or getting yourself into the Halloween spirit. Another one is a friggin' classic, and it's called Night of the Creeps. This will get your friggin' skin crawling. It will. Now, I can give you a bunch of movies of body horror because I love body horror films, but this one here, Night of the Creeps, is a great film. It's a classic, and yes, it will make your skin crawl. Every time I watch movies that have to do with like squirms, Night of the Creeps, worms, arachnophobia, I'm like, oh my God, I can feel them on me, right? So this is a good one for you to watch. If you haven't seen this one, definitely add it to your list to watch. Night of the Creeps is great. And of course, we got to get into the creepy kids. Yes, creepy kids. What's Halloween without creepy kids? And that is going to be The Omen. The Omen is an awesome, awesome film. I could have said The Exorcist because The Exorcist is a timeless classic, and it really is. It broke many boundaries, but I watched The Exorcist all year long. The Omen, I particularly pull The Omen out around October. Sometimes it's usually closer to Halloween, but it's a great film. It's a awesome storyline, and it's got enough scare tactics in it to get you ready for the Halloween spirit. The next one that we love to watch is the original Fright Night. Who doesn't love Sarandon as a vampire? Right? Evil Ed. I love Fright Night. Fright Night and Bitten get me into the Halloween spirit. I usually get a little crazy when I watch Fright Night, and I do vampire makeup just to watch Fright Night. Yes, sometimes me and the Spawn will get ready. We'll do some Halloween makeup and watch Fright Night. Yeah, we're not going anywhere, but we're watching an awesome timeless classic. The Spawn loves Fright Night just as much as I do. Then we keep going with the supernatural. We get ourselves into some Evil Dead. Who doesn't need some Bruce Campbell in their friggin' life? This bitch right here needs it. I love Bruce Campbell. I love the film Evil Dead. I love the practical effects because it gets you into that mood to start doing that kind of makeup and practical effects. I go all out every year. I usually have a couple of different costumes that I do in makeup. I also use the whole month of Halloween to get my spook on with my makeups. My Spawn does as well. We both get ready and we just have fun, and Evil Dead brings that out in us. And talking about Spawns, there she is texting me. But now we are going to get our wolf on because yes, you can't have Halloween top picks without some werewolf films. And one of my number one favorites is American Werewolf in London. This is an awesome art masterpiece of a film. The body transformation of the wolf is so real looking to me that I actually can feel the pain that he's enduring during its transformation. Plus where he rips apart his friends. I mean, come on. It is a great Halloween film for you to get into. American Werewolf in London, I would not say is family friendly. I will say if they're a teenager, you can definitely get them to watch this, but this is not for the young ones. There is some great violence in it, and I say great. The next one is, again, it's a original and a remake. You're going to see that I do this quite a bit where I'll watch an original and either the same night or the next day I will watch the remake. And you have to have The Blob. I mean, you cannot go without the month of October without watching the friggin' Blob. The Blob from 1958 goes on first. And then if it's a weekend, like a Friday or a Saturday, then I'll watch The Blob from 1958 and then 1988. But if it's not, then I'll break it up into 2 days. But The Blob has to be in that list. And if you haven't seen it, you are truly missing out on some masterpiece work here. The story is great, the blob is scary, and the gore is pretty nice. Another werewolf film is Ginger Snaps, Canadian-made female werewolf movie. I fucking love this film. Two young girls, their sisters, are on a wild adventure as werewolf. It is a franchise, so you do have more than just the first one, but I do watch the first one. The franchise is great, so if you haven't seen the franchise, please go and enjoy that franchise. Another great movie to get me in to the Halloween spirit is Night of the Demons. Yes, Night of the Demons. This is another timeless classic. If you haven't checked this one out, you must do so. This one does get me more into the Halloween spirit. It's about a Halloween party that goes on at a house, and shit gets crazy because some spirits get risen and cause a ruckus. What's better than that on a Halloween night, right? We can't have Halloween without friggin' zombies. No, we can't. And we have a couple of zombie movies for you. One of them is one of my number one favorites is Return of the Living Dead #3. That is my most favorite. I do love 1, but #3 is my most favorite. And you have to have zombies for Halloween. You cannot go on without the month of October without watching one zombie film. So Return of the Living Dead #3, that is on my list. And we need some more ghosts in our life. And who doesn't need some Vincent Price up in that biatch? I do. I love Vincent Price. I watch a lot of Vincent Price movies throughout the year, but in October, I definitely watch 13 Ghosts from 1960. Obviously, there's not Vincent Price in there, but we're getting to that. 13 Ghosts from 1960 and 13 Ghosts from 2001. I also watch, now it's all depending on the day, I watch, always gets me into the mood, is A House on Haunted Hill. This is where I get into my Vincent Price. Now, in my collection of Vincent Price films, it's The Bat, The Tingler, and House on Haunted Hill. Now, we do watch in my household 1 and 2. I mean, I should say House on Haunted Hill original, and then the House on Haunted Hill remake. We do the same thing for 13 Ghosts. If you haven't seen the original 13 Ghosts, I highly recommend it. It is family friendly. Anything really from the 1960s, 1950s is usually, for the most part, family friendly. It's when you get later on in the 60s and the 70s that I would be like, some of the horror movies back then. But 13 Ghosts from 1960, 13 Ghosts from 2001, 13 Ghosts from 2001, if you got teenagers, is probably best for them to watch it. It's not overly sexualized or anything like that. It does have a couple of moments of gore, but definitely a good one. But like I was saying with Vincent Price, I friggin' love that man. And I do go on binges in October. So there are days that I have off, like a Thursday. I will take my Vincent Price collection and watch them one after another just because I love Mr. Price. May he rest in peace. But the top 3 of mine would be House on Haunted Hill, The Bat, and The Tingler. We need more vampires in this mother. I think so. So we're going to bring on the vampire comedy, What We Do in the Shadows. Now, this bad boy got added into my movie classics because it is my feel-good film. This movie came out in 2015, I believe. It's one of my favorites, and it's got added in. I've actually taken out Bram Stoker's Dracula to put in the What We Do in the Shadows. I love this film. I watch it throughout the year. I love the TV series, but in October, this is a must. This is a staple in my house to watch. It gets us ready. Heavy actually enjoys it as well, so it's a movie that Heavy can enjoy. The Spawn enjoys it. It's a good family-friendly film. Now, this goes on, it's a TV series, and it goes on all day. This is something that I will have running on a Saturday or even a Saturday evening or on a Sunday after Coffee Chat of Horrors, is The Twilight Zone. Yes, you cannot have a spooky month without some sci-fi in your life. I have The Twilight Zone, of course, Rod Sterling. Nothing wrong with the remakes of Twilight Zone. It's just the black and white always has something for me, and I love black and white films. So The Twilight Zone, you might want to add that to your list as well. Now, another film that we like to watch in this household is called Scream, and X from the Horde also enjoys this film on their Halloween night. Scream's a great 90s horror. I want to say horror comedy because for me, there was some laughter. There was some comedy in it. I did, and still enjoy the storyline of Scream. And I'm super stoked for the new Scream to come. Another film that we have in our list is The Addams Family from 1991. This is another family-friendly film. We love it. This has always been in our bag of tricks for Halloween. Every year without fail, it's been Hocus Pocus, Beetlejuice, The Addams Family. We even throw in the Munsters TV show up in there. So this is another staple for my family for Halloween. And if you haven't seen it, why not? It's a great film. Of course, we're getting closer to the Halloween night, right? Halloween, we got Halloween Eve. We throw in Trick or Treat. Yes, we do. And The Craft. Because you have to have friggin' witches. And you've got to have Sam. Trick or Treat is I know it's a popular horror film. And a lot of the movies in here are not overly popular. But Trick or Treat is. And Trick or Treat's a fun, scary movie about Halloween. So you have to have that in there. And witches. You need to have witches. Besides the Hocus Pocus witches, you need to have some badass witches called The Craft. Yes, The Craft. I love The Craft. When I was growing up and I was a probably like, a middle-aged demon there around the ages of 17, 18 and a little older, when I seen Craft, I fell in love with the movie. Craft, I'm a practicing pagan. It's part of my life. It's how I was brought up. And when The Craft came out representing some average teens that invoke powers from a deity and they cause a ruckus and chaos, I was like, oh my God, this is a really great film that portrays witches and not ugly, mean, villainous type of witches, right? So I friggin' love The Craft, and it's one of my staple movies. It's one of my staple movies that I show my kids. Now we're going to get on to the day and night of Halloween. This is the 31st. So during the day, again, if it's a Saturday or a Sunday, during the daytime, it is the entire Universal Classic Monster Collection. We start off with Dracula. We get the Wolfman in there. We get the Creature from the Black Lagoon, Phantom of the Opera, Invisible Man, Frankenstein's Monster. We get the Abbott and Costello. You got to have the Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. So the entire Universal Classic Monster, we get that going all day long. It starts first thing in the morning when we get up. I usually eat my eggs and bacon and have my coffee with Dracula. It is in no particular order. We'll just drop them in what we feel like watching. And it plays throughout the day while we're cleaning or cooking or doing whatever we're doing. Then in the evening, usually Heavy and I are home. The Spawn's out trick-or-treating, so I'm eating the candy and handing out the sweets. And I watched the films that got me involved into horror. This is where I pay homage to the films that got me into the horror genre. And it's Night of the Living Dead from 1968. This black and white masterpiece classic is definitely my number one to watch on Halloween night. Not only does it give me nostalgia from being a young demon and watching Night of the Living Dead for the very first time, because it brings back those memories for me, which were so great. Plus my Spawns, when she comes home from trick-or-treating all exhausted, she's able to watch it as well. Another one of these films is Friday the 13th. I was a young demon when I watched this one, and I did not know what was going on at the time when I seen Friday the 13th, but it stuck with me, and Pamela stuck with me from my 5-year-old years all the way throughout my life. She was a staple in my life. Now, Friday the 13th was not a family-friendly film in my household. It was when the kids went to bed. Same thing with Night of the Living Dead. So I would just definitely make sure your children are old enough to kind of see these kinds of films. And of course, you have to have Halloween from 1978. You cannot go the month of October without Halloween. You can't. Now, I know some throw in the whole Halloween franchise. I usually do Halloween 1 and 2. I normally am up late on Halloween because it's Halloween. I also do my own ritual for Samhain, which is a holiday in my religion. If you want to know more about that, I can definitely let you know more about that. Now we're going to get into some of the Horde Picks. Now, RCA Podcast has recommended Class of 1999. Yes, 1999. It's a good film. I don't know how many of you have seen it here. Also, Mischief Maker agreed with me, and she was saying the Rocky Horror Picture Show. We also have Scream from X. So make sure you guys watch those films as well. I love introducing people to new films. I love seeing new films. So if there's a horror movie, or not even a horror movie, but a movie that you enjoy on Halloween or for the month of Halloween, and I didn't have it in this list, please let me know down below. I'd love to know what you guys watch and what gets you into the Halloween spirit. Also, what are you being for Halloween this year? Don't tell me you're not dressing up. I don't want to hear you're not dressing up. Halloween is the only time of the year that you can either be yourself and let your freak flag fly without being judged by the normies. And it's also a day for you to be creative. and to be scary and to have your eyeballs dripping off or your blood or a slit throat, neck, and walk around like an average human that day. So I'd love to know what you are doing for Halloween, what you are dressing up as. I have yet decided on a few of my outfits, but closer to time will tell. Thank you guys so very, very much for watching this video. I know it's a little bit longer than one of my normal videos, but I do hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy this list. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart for watching this. If you haven't already done it, hit that subscribe button. Anyways, guys, I'm going to run back to the crypt. I'm getting hungry. I need some brains. And I think I need to fill my Java cup back up again. So I'm going to skedaddle. Creep it real, my lovelies. Creep it real. And I will slash you all later. Bye-bye.